Hey everyone, let's continue our look at identity, and we're going to consider today how a fixed identity that has to be upheld, because if not, the self wouldn't exist anymore. The self's worst fear is that it will cease to exist. And we're going to look at that in relation to learning, because when we think that this self-identity that is made, that is only a concept, it's only a belief, and it's based entirely on conceptual ideas. It's not based on reality. And so say I've got this identity. I'm a good writer, or I'm a good coach, or I'm a good teacher of 3 principles, or non-dual understanding, or I'm a great mum, or I'm a brilliant friend. Now, those become concepts to be upheld at all cost. And that, ironically, because self-belief would point us down that route of building up those concepts, wouldn't it? Like, self-belief would say, you know, the more I believe I'm a great writer, the more I believe I'm the best coach, then I'm good, then I'm confident, I'm out in the world, I'm doing stuff. But actually, it's the total opposite, because what happens is that these become concepts to defend and support, which is impossible because they're concepts, they don't exist, they're not real. And in upholding them, the self has to cut off any learning, anything that could increase the ability or open up the idea of what it means to be a writer or a mum or whatever. It has to keep this position, and anything that would change that position in any way can't be allowed. And so the belief that I'm a great coach, say, means that any feedback or criticism that would say the contrary has to be squashed immediately, because it can't be allowed in, because it threatens that identity, and in threatening the identity, it threatens the existence of the self. It's like death. So a one line from a client saying, that wasn't such a great session, or I don't know if I want to continue working with you, that's like death. It can't be even like I have to close down the email straight away, because it can't come into that space of, this is me, this is who I am, that's under threat here. Whereas when there's not that, and when there's just coaching happening, which would really be just talking happening, or conversation, relatedness happening, exploration happening, without any fixation on these things as actual concepts, actually real, anything can come into that space. And in fact, all the space is a learning space, as we were as babies, pre-identity, pre-concept of self. We were a learning space. And the difference now is as babies, we were a sponge, just soaking everything in, totally open. Now there's a maturity, there's a movement. We've soaked it all in, we've believed all the stuff, we've suffered, we've felt vulnerable, we've thought else, we've resisted all sorts of things. We're going through that, we've come out through the other side, and from the realization of who we are, this understanding, it's so unique for us as humans to be able to do that, to be able to understand concepts and move beyond them. And that's what we're doing here. So now we're in this post concept space where it's still useful to have these ideas, but it's now fully in the knowledge of who we are, and new beliefs, information can come in and be looked at from that perspective, from that understanding. And so it's a learning space that is the fullness of human expression of life. Oh, isn't it cool? Isn't it so cool? So there's nothing, so any idea of who I am, any role that I have, any identity, essentially, weirdly, but also very logically, becomes a block to learning and information and expansion. So only within that idea, I'm a good mum. That's all that is conditioned thought about what it means to be a good mum. It's got zero to do with the kids, that one. It's me, 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 me. My belief about me being a good mum, that's it. And that this conversation takes it all away, takes down those walls, creates, or opens up that space of receptivity and creativity and alchemy, really alchemy, like this, yeah, what's made here in this space with no limits, no idea of who I am. Well, never, awesome. Who knows what will be there for all of us. Ah, so cool, isn't it? Right, see you tomorrow. Bye.